188,000 people have been evacuated from California's massive dam, which is threatening floods. And California state universities are looking at a tuition increase.
This is Valley View News.
Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Caroline Hogikian.
And I'm Annie Stonick.
Heavy rainfall in Northern California has caused the Oroville Dam to overflow. Water began washing into the dam's emergency spillway, but that and the primary spillway are both eroding. As of last Monday, officials feared the dam could be breached and that a 30-foot wall of water could flood cities in the area below. This prompted the evacuation of nearly 200,000 people. California Governor Jerry Brown has issued a state of emergency.
Protests continued throughout the week over construction of the Keystone XL and Dakota Access pipelines. Proponents say they will create thousands of jobs and reduce America's dependence on foreign fuel. But opponents say they will poison water and provide only around 400 jobs after construction is concluded. Reporter Cheyenne Conaway has the story.
Southern California residents were joined by American Indian tribes from all over the United States. They marched in solidarity against the Keystone XL and Dakota Access pipelines. The protest started at Pershing Square in downtown LA and was about a 1.5-mile walk. With over 1,500 people in attendance, it was the biggest anti-pipelines protest in Los Angeles to date. The marchers were protesting President Trump's executive orders that overturned Obama's halt on construction on both pipelines. Lance Brown Eyes is from the Pine Ridge, South Dakota reservation, and the Keystone pipeline will run right above his reservation and through the Lakota aquifer.
We're telling Trump, please respect Obama's decision, respect our fight, that we stopped it, don't reenact it, and no more pipelines in general. We traveled to Washington, D.C., we all bled, and it was a long fight to get the Keystone dead, and we thought it was dead.
Marchers say the pipelines remind the natives of their long struggles against injustice.
What's happening in Standing Rock is a continuation of the genocide of the Native American people. And we have to say no. We have to turn this resistance into mass refusal.
Rally organizers say the pipelines would threaten the drinking water to more than 15 million people and destroy sacred indigenous lands. Emma Robbins is from the Navajo Nation and traveled from Arizona.
I've seen firsthand how the environment and the earth can be destroyed and how it affects people and how effed up it is and how it needs to be shut down.
The rally ended with a prayer in front of the Edward Roybal Federal Building in downtown Los Angeles. Officials are saying the protest was peaceful and there were no arrests, and organizers are saying that they plan on having more protests in the future. I'm Cheyenne Conaway in downtown Los Angeles for Valley View News.
Thousands of anti-choice demonstrators protested outside Planned Parenthood clinics last weekend. The rallies took place at more than 200 clinics in 45 states. The protesters say they don't want government money to go to a clinic that offers abortions.
Babies are being murdered in that building and in many buildings like that.
But one pro-life supporter of Planned Parenthood defended the organization.
Not all women have access to the health care that they need, and Planned Parenthood allows for that.
Planned Parenthood says abortions account for only 3% of its services and that most women go for contraception, testing, and treatment of STDs. Both sides say they will continue their demonstrations.
White House advisor Stephen Miller says the White House is not giving up on its plan to ban immigration from Muslim-majority countries.
We are contemplating new and additional actions to ensure that our immigration system does not become a vehicle for admitting people into our country who are hostile to this nation and its values.
Miller says the Ninth Circuit Court ruling suspending the ban is judicial abuse of power and the president's need to protect the country should be beyond question. The ban caused chaos at airports across the country while it was in effect. Miller says the White House may continue to fight for the ban in court or Trump could sign a new executive order.
An estimated 20,000 people gathered in Mexico City to protest against President Trump and corruption within their borders. The demonstrators protested Trump's treatment of undocumented immigrants. Protesters also said they are sending a message to Trump that they do not want a wall separating the U.S. and Mexico and that Mexico will not pay for a wall. Demonstrators also covered part of the city's main monument, the Angel of Independence, with flags and banners. Trump said the recent accelerated crackdown on undocumented immigrants is merely keeping his campaign promise.
What was once the American dream has now turned into the Mexican dream for Haitian immigrants who fled Haiti because of a disastrous economy. Reporter Alfredo Perez has more on how Haitians are adapting in Mexico.
After failing to cross the Mexican border into the United States, many Haitians are finding a home in Mexico. Many are even finding work and shelter. Osidio Dini has given up trying to cross into the United States. He's found work in Tijuana as a security guard. Diodini says he's fine with starting a new life in Mexico because he feels at home there. Thank God that the Mexican government is allowing us to live here. I'm thankful with all Mexicans, the federal police, and the Mexican immigration. I'm very thankful. I'm going to become a Mexican, God willing, because I like Tijuana a lot. It hasn't been easy for all Haitians in the last few months. Many of them went to South America, but the economy and violence there drove them to Mexico. Many wait outside shelters like this one that provide meals, beds, and showers. Others wait on sidewalks for job opportunities. Shelter director Pat Murphy says Haitians can benefit the Mexican community.
And some of the folks are professionals. Of course, a lot of them don't have the language, so they'll have to be brought up to speed in that. But we've had teachers, we've had lawyers, people who have studied, who can offer a lot to Mexico.
Getting a job isn't easy for all Haitians. Some sell native food on shopping carts to make a living. Luisme Casimil migrated to Venezuela after the Haitian earthquake with his wife and son. Casimil says his dream is to make it to the United States, but he is willing to stay in Mexico.
I was in Venezuela for 9 years. I left Venezuela because the situation is very bad. That's why I didn't stay there. I came here for a change, and if I can't get into the U.S., I'm going to stay here.
Not all Mexican citizens are happy with Haitians staying in Mexico. We can't forget about our indigenous communities that we have in Chiapas, Michoacán, and Durango. We aren't feeding them, so why should we do that to our brothers that we weren't expecting here? Many of these Haitian refugees thought they could gain political asylum in the United States, but that was a false rumor that was spread among the refugees. Political asylum from the United States is no longer an option for Haitian immigrants. They refuse to go back to their native country of Haiti because of the bad economy. They are now applying for humanitarian visas to be able to work legally in Mexico. In Tijuana, Mexico, for Valley View News, I'm Alfredo Perez.
President Trump and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe are being criticized for reading security-sensitive documents in public. The two leaders discussed news of North Korea's weekend missile test during their retreat at Trump's Florida club. They used their cell phone camera lights while reading the documents, but sparked national security concerns because cell phones can possibly have their cameras hacked. North Korea's missile fell into the Sea of Japan, and state media called it successful.
A suicide bomber has killed almost a dozen people in Pakistan during a protest. The bomber ran his motorcycle into a police car in the town of Lahore. At least 30 people were injured. A Lahore reporter says the bomb was heard from several kilometers away. A Pakistani Taliban group is claiming responsibility for the attack. Last year, the group bombed a Pakistani hospital and killed over 70 people.
Hundreds of thousands of Romanian protesters are taking the streets in a mass protest over public corruption. Emergency Ordinance Number 13 is basically a get-out-of-jail-free card for officials if they took bribes that could not be proved to be more than $48,000. The upshot is it gives immunity for many of its officials under investigation. The Justice Minister resigned, but demonstrators are still not happy. Protesters are drumming, playing music, and dancing while marching with the Romanian and United Nations flags.
The wife of a Missouri Ku Klux Klan leader is being held on suspicion of murdering her husband. Frank Nkana was found shot to death over the weekend. His wife said he vanished after leaving to make an out-of-state delivery to his employer. The employer reported him missing after he didn't show up for work but denied asking him to make a delivery. His wife also claimed he was going to file for a divorce after his return. When we come back, we will be highlighting the Grammys.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Miss Stevens, I just wiped malware off our system. People have got to stop clicking unsolicited email links and downloading free software unless it's from a trusted source.
Sounds great.
We need a data backup plan in a separate location in case we get hacked.
We need to focus on making profits, not spending them.
Learn to protect yourself from ransomware. If you become a victim, contact your local FBI office.
You guys going to my party on Friday?
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be crazy.
All right.
What's up, dude? I'm loving your jacket.
Don't be such a fag.
If you don't mean it, why say it? Words hurt. Think before you speak.
The biggest IKEA in the country is now open in Burbank. The new store is equipped with 10,000 items, 50 inspirational room settings, 1,700 parking spots, and a 600-seat restaurant. The original Burbank IKEA opened 26 years ago in 1990, and the new store is twice as big. The new store will generate more property tax revenue for the city of Burbank and local schools.
Los Angeles drivers may have an end to city collisions. Reporter Julia Espinoza has more on the story.
The LA Department of Transportation has pinpointed the city's most dangerous streets in an effort to reduce traffic deaths by 20% this year. The department is calling its initiative Vision Zero. It found that 65% of all traffic-related deaths and severe injuries occur on just 6% of our city streets.
Every 40 hours, at least one person is killed. That is a total of 260 people per year, making Los Angeles one of the deadliest cities in traffic death accidents.
Devonshire and Reseda Boulevard is the most dangerous intersection in the San Fernando Valley. Devonshire Police Officer Fidencio Pina says drivers are not following the rules.
The number one cause of accidents would be the speed, and it's also like at intersections where I'm making a left turn and I fail to yield to the vehicles. I make a left in front of a vehicle, and that's where the accidents happen.
This Jiffy Lube sits in the corner of Devonshire and Reseda. An employee, Efra Lunatis, said he's seen a number of accidents involving the nearby McDonald's.
People are getting out of McDonald's and like the exits right here, and they just end up crashing with people that are coming from the other direction.
To help make streets safer, the city has implemented road changes for both bicyclists and drivers. Bicycle signals have been added to crosswalks, and physical barriers have been added, giving bicyclists a protected sidewalk that prevents drivers from dangerously passing them on the right. Russell Hasten is an engineering official at the Department of Transportation. He says crashes and collisions are preventable, and he is optimistic about the future.
Vision Zero, the campaign to reduce fatalities by 2025 to zero, is about changing people's behaviors, having people be more responsible, more attentive, and follow all of the traffic laws that are out there.
This accident occurred on Lindley and Nordhoff while we were shooting. One of the cars crossed into the other. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured. Vision Zero asked the public to join the dialogue on street safety and take action by making safe behavior a part of their everyday routine. In Los Angeles, Julia Espinoza, Valley View News.
The price of OPEC oil has doubled in the last year following a decision by OPEC members to set firm production limits. Prices are now stable at more than $53 a barrel. Last February's collapse in prices, the worst since 2003, was caused by oversupply, reduced demand from China, and a decision to lift sanctions against Iran. But 2016 saw bigger demand for oil due to stronger economic growth, higher vehicle sales, and colder than expected weather. And demand is expected to be even higher in 2017.
The UC system is raising the cost of tuition, and the Cal State system may be doing the same. Valley View's Yael Allen has more on the story.
California State University's Board of Trustees voted on the possibility of raising tuition or focusing more on graduation rates. Governor Brown's recent budget proposal may leave CSUs short of funding, and administrators are trying to make up for their loss of resources. CSUN's Associated Student President, Sevag Alexanian, gives us his perspective on why CSUs feel an increase may be necessary.
At the end of the day, it's really a matter of the necessary resources that we need, because as a university system, as the CSU, you could take a look at the numbers. We've been defunded ever since the recession came in about. Since that time, I mean, everyone was struggling, but since then, we really haven't been able to receive the same level of funding that we had in the past.
The 23-campus school system hasn't seen an increase in tuition since 2011, and students have been very vocal about their opposition.
I know a lot of people are not going to be able to pay because of they're paying their bills and other things. Some people are not even qualified to get financial aid, so that might be a problem for some people.
Financial aid will probably stay the same, and the cost will keep rising.
It's already a lot to begin with, so raising it would be very good for anybody.
Associated Students wants students to be aware of the possible increase. Banners with the hashtags like CSUN Wake Up and Stop the Hike have been posted around campus. Alexanian urges students to get involved and stay informed.
So the best thing I could ask is as students, whenever you'll see an opportunity to get involved, an opportunity to get informed, fight against this tuition increase, to take that opportunity, because at the end of the day, this is going to be affecting each and every one of us, and every little bit helps.
CSU administrators say most undergraduate students won't be affected by the increase. Officials say students already receiving financial aid will have the fees covered by their grants and waivers. The Board of Trustees is expected to make an official vote in March. This is Yael Allen in Northridge for Valley View News.
A trip to Disneyland just got a little more expensive as all Disney parks have increased their ticket prices. The increases are between $2 and $5 depending on the park. This puts an adult ticket at Disneyland anywhere from $97 to $124 depending on the day. Annual passes and parking fees will also go up. This comes days after the release of Disney's earnings report, which was lower than expected.
Verizon customers can now get unlimited data, talk, and text for $80. The new plan includes up to 10 gigabytes of mobile hotspot usage, along with texting to Mexico and Canada. However, the company said that after a customer uses 22 gigabytes, it will prioritize other customers during network congestion. Other companies also started to offer an unlimited plan, but slow down data once the limit is reached.
A new dating app is saying bye-bye to swiping right and hello to phone calls. Hotline requires in-app phone calls before users are allowed to message their matches. The company says on average, the first call lasts 25 minutes. The goal is to get users to focus on connection and not physical attraction. The Hotline founder says talking on the phone requires a little more effort. The app charges $9 a month and limits users to 3 matches at once, to give the hopeful on the other line time to make an impression.
Here is Paulina Negretti with entertainment.
Adele is the big winner at the Grammys this year for winning Album of the Year, Song of the Year, and Record of the Year. Adele used her final moments on stage to salute Beyoncé for her monumental album, Lemonade.
We all got to see another side to you that you don't always let us see, and we appreciate that.
Beyoncé took home the prize for Urban Contemporary Album and Best Music Video for Formation. Adele sang a tribute to George Michael, and Bruno Mars sang a tribute to Prince. Chance the Rapper also won big. He took home the first ever Grammy for a streaming-only album, winning Best Rap Album, Best Performance, and Best New Album. Viola Davis came to CSUN last week for CSUN's annual Big Lecture. Over 1,600 people attended the event at the Valley Performing Arts Center on campus. Associated students put on the Big Lecture, and tickets were $5 for students and $10 for faculty and staff. Viola Davis spoke about accepting your own beauty, accepting your past, and the values of life experiences. Viola's most recent movie was Fences. She won Best Supporting Actress for the movie during the Golden Globes and was nominated for an Oscar. The event was perfectly timed for Black History Month, and Associated students are already looking for a celebrity to speak at next year's Big Lecture. Nick Cannon is leaving America's Got Talent. Cannon posted on social media that NBC threatened to fire him over a joke he made during his Showtime comedy special. Cannon says the comment was a joke about his own race. He says NBC is trying to silence him and protect its brand. He says no amount of money is worth his dignity and his integrity. Cannon started hosting America's Got Talent in 2009. Bachelor host Chris Harrison is already looking for the next Bachelorette. Harrison told Us Weekly the show would be lucky to have current season 21 Rachel Lindsay take the role. That is, if she doesn't end up with the final rose. She would be the first black Bachelorette. Harrison says he has several great candidates, but Lindsay is for sure the fan favorite. YouTube is launching a TV channel this spring through an online subscription service, YouTube Red. The video streaming site will release the first of 4 family-friendly shows in 2 months. The target audience is children 12 and under, 80% of whom say they use YouTube. The $10 subscription grants access to the new shows, films, documentaries, offline video streaming, and Google Play Music. That's it for entertainment. Now back to you.
Chinatown celebrated the Chinese New Year with a parade down North Broadway. Reporter Leo Ibarra has more on the story.
The 118th annual Golden Dragon Parade was hosted by the Chinese Chamber of Commerce. The parade featured floats, Happy New Year, marching bands, government officials, cultural groups, and Angelenos of all ages. The parade promotes ethnic diversity, Chinese culture, and Chinese American business. Emily Yang summed the parade's meaning.
The joys and the happiness and New Year, the spirit of the Chinese New Year.
Thousands of people lined the parade route and joined the festivities. The mixed crowd enjoyed entertainment of different tastes. Unlike any other holidays, this one has been going on for weeks, and this year, the rooster being one of the main attractions.
Happy New Year!
This is the year of the rooster.
恭喜發財!
It represents fidelity and punctuality. The parade wound its way through Chinatown for about 2 hours. Reporting for Valley View News, I'm Leo Ibarra.
When we come back, we will learn about the CSUN Jiu-Jitsu Club.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
La 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 la, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Do you know what to do?
Yes.
Bring it back to me. Then I'll give you your money.
Frank Thomas, you are under arrest for the theft of trade secrets. Come with me.
Bye-bye, Frank. Theft of trade secrets is illegal.
CSUN students can practice a unique form of martial arts called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The club meets every Monday and Wednesday at Redwood Hall. Valley View's Jordan Williams has the story.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a martial art focused on grappling and submissions. The objective is to submit and make your opponent quit through a number of chokeholds and arm and leg locks. Club Vice President Robert Zaragoza says there's a lot more to learn than just submissions.
One of the main things we learn out here in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is respect. Respect to others. There's a lot of discipline. A lot of people come here to get in shape.
Participants spend at least 1 hour in each class free rolling. Free rolling is when Jiu-Jitsu players go all out trying to submit and defeat each other. Similar to school, every day in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a challenge. Club member Aaron Estrada says you'll get out just as much as you put in.
If you step onto the mat, you put in the work, you eat right, you train day in, day out, then you're going to get your hand raised because you put in the work. You can't get cheated out of that. You know what I mean? Just like with school, if you study hard, if you do everything you're supposed to do, you read the text, you do the extra work, you're going to get the grade.
Jiu-jitsu is obviously a very physical sport. Club president Daniel Goking thinks jiu-jitsu is not only a fun hobby, but a way to make new friends.
I love the fact that doing all this, even though it's definitely very close contact, you get to know people.
Brazilian Jiu-jitsu is not only great exercise, but teaches people self-defense.
You feel confident, you feel more at ease. You feel more like you could take the world on. Not necessarily like you're gonna look for a fight, but like you learn to fight so you don't have to fight.
Students train here at Redwood Hall, and what they learn on the mat, like discipline, patience, and respect, they can take into the classroom and beyond. In Northridge, Jordan Williams for Valley View News.
Now let's go to Alicia Dieguez with the latest on sports.
Kevin Durant made his return to Oklahoma City for the first time since joining the Golden State Warriors. OKC fans are still bitter and booed Durant throughout the entire game. Despite the hate, Durant scored 34 points in the 130-114 win over the Thunder. Durant played for OKC for 8 years, led the team to its lone NBA Finals appearance in 2012 and to 2 Western Conference Finals. It's customary for the winners in each major professional sport to visit the White House after their championship victory. However, this year, much is being made about some New England Patriots who say they will skip their chance to meet President Trump. Patriots owner Robert Kraft, a friend of the president, is supporting his players' right to choose. Tight end Martellus Bennett and running back LeGarrette Blount cite their political views as their reason for wanting to skip the trip. However, Kraft says not all of the players are skipping for political reasons. He also says this is not the first time some players have opted out of the trip, but this is the first time it is getting any media attention. CSUN's men's basketball team defeated UC Santa Barbara 77-55. 4 Matadors scored in double digits. Kendall Smith led with 17 points and 6 assists. Travion Dawson got his 5th double-double of the season, scoring 15 points and grabbing 13 rebounds. The victory over UC Santa Barbara gives the team its most wins overall and in conference play since the 2013-2014 season. Their next game will be on the road against UC Davis this Thursday. CSUN's women's water polo team finished 12th at the Triton Invitational match. The Matadors fell to Hartwick College 8-7 and also lost 7-4 against Loyola Marymount. The top Matador scorers during the tournament were Madeline Sanchez with 20 points and Shannon Halvanesian with 12 points. The team is currently ranked number 22 nationally with the NCAA. That's all for sports. Now back to you.
A disabled puppy was found tied up in a bag inside a trash can in Toronto. But fortunately, a passerby heard his cries and came to the rescue. The pup Cupid was born without front legs. The animal service Possibility gave Cupid prosthetic legs so he could gain balance and coordination. Possibility says Cupid can push himself in the ski-like training wheels. Positive encouragement and repetition will help Cupid to walk. Cupid will be up for adoption at the end of the month. Thanks for watching Valley View News. I'm Caroline Hogigian.
And I'm Annie Stonick.